works.
Leonard's a great guy.
I actually
Leonard DeBuck.
made it through the commute past the middle school, high school, and elementary school.
You
So,
came in at the bad
yeah.
time.
Well, I eventually got through, but I left with at least 15 minutes of extra time. But
Hey, that's
I certainly needed the extra 5 because you got to take your time.
And we see they're doing a reroute on 6. Did you see that in Pine Island?
Just about every road is going to be resurfaced and repaved and narrowing down.
Well,
or
we can't
closed.
complain. We've been waiting for them
Yeah.
to do it, so everybody just take it. I'm surprised they're doing it at this time of the year, though.
Well, the county of Orange is replacing some culverts underneath Pulaski Highway between Pine Island and Florida. Of course, those two communities are like kissing cousins. And so now you got to take a reroute. You either got to go all the way to Union Corners Road or take Lower Road if you want to go from Florida to Pine Island.
It's quite a detour, as they say. If you're trying to go through the, what is it, by M&M Farms? Is that where it is? Or?
Yeah, you have. Well, if you take the most immediate detour, you end up on Mount Peter Road, and then you end up on Amity Road, and then you're twisting between Mount Adam and Mount Eve.
That's
and
true, yeah.
Then you come out.
I'm in the Bible now.
Well,
The Bible
our
Belt.
son
Very
Stephen went
confused.
to do trivia last night at Mattingly's over in Florida, and he said, "Hey, Dad, I knew there was a detour, but he said I went all the way to Union Corners Road and then just went all the way to Florida." I said, "Hey, that was really smart, Stephen. You didn't have to take all those curves and everything." But
That's true.
I'm glad they're fixing the drainage in the black dirt. There's some
Yeah,
culvert
that's
pipes that
important.
needed to be lowered so the black dirt would drain right. They waited till the onions were harvested and things like that. And of course, they have listed the detours. So look, just take the detours until they get the
Right.
drainage fixed and the road fixed.
I have some great news for everybody about Leonard. He is going to be the returning president of the Pine Island Chamber.
Happened
well,
already because
what?
the end of the chamber. I like that button on that computer over there. You talked about retirement. I don't believe in retirement.
I'm with you.
And
I'm with you
I
on
got
that
to
one.
thinking, I'm like, boy, Leonard, you're a really slow learner. You were the president of the chamber before, and you stepped away. Why don't you stay away? And retirement, I guess, to me means you go get a new set of tires, and if you got some decent tread on it, and the people want you to serve, you say, well, maybe there's a couple more miles left on these tires after all. So, and I asked other board members, are you sure? Are you sure? I'm not going to be north of the Mason-Dixon line in January, February, March.
Well, nothing much goes on in that time
Well,
anyway. In Pine
not a
Island.
lot, but a fair amount of planning
But
does.
you can go on the phone or,
Well,
You
we
can
asked
zoom in
Nancy
or
Shiner,
Zoom or
our vice
Teams.
president. She does a lot of work. I says, Nancy, you're going to have to run the meeting. She goes, no, I'll run the meeting. I'm happy being the vice president. I'm happy doing the membership drive. I'm happy, it's deciding who's, paying for banners, not paying for banners, all this type of thing. I'll fill in for you while you're gone, but we want you back. And so
I love that.
I said, all right, then I'll serve. So Peter Barlett had a swearing-in ceremony at the Crystal Inn.
I wish I had known. I would have covered
Yeah,
We
that.
would have been there, yeah.
and we honored 2 people, a young gal, and then Bill Grohowski, a longtime resident of the area, a black dirt area. He's from Goshen, but grew up on a black dirt farm in Derlinville. Served our country in Vietnam, and then served in his his semi-retirement at West Point under pest control. But when he was active, he ran the Agway division of a fertilizer blend plant and ran a store in Pine Island. And he's a veteran, and he's done all things black dirt. And the county legislator even named him the official black dirt historian for Orange
Very
County.
nice.
So he started out very young, having black dirt all over him, growing up on a farm in Derlinville, and we were very happy to honor him.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, it's great that,
I just want to you'd mentioned the banners. I have to tell you,
Oh, yeah.
never happier than where our banner is.
It's perfect
And I'm going to
location
tell
for
you,
us.
we want
They got
there
to come
every
down,
year.
though. Have you
I know.
noticed, like your tag is flagging in the wind?
I noticed
Yeah.
that last night.
Yeah.
So I know it's coming down, but that's where we want next year. I love it because
It's great.
going
We see
in
it every day,
and
and-
every coming back, I see it every day. It makes me
Puts
smile.
a smile. Yep, right? It
Right?
puts a
It
smile on your
does.
face. It
That's
really does.
about the third banner I've noticed now in Pine Island, where one of the zip ties that holds up.
Yeah,
one
I
end
saw
of
that. It came
has
down a little
finally
bit.
said the winds in Pine Island.
Yeah, we're done
win,
for
been
the
crazy,
winter.
yeah.
Put
and
us
we
away.
lose. So yeah, and they don't overwinter
Yeah,
well from the freezing weather and the wind. So
A perfect spot.
But it's up
Love
for a
it.
long time. I mean, it's
Yeah,
up
it
all
is up
summer.
for a
So
very
it's,
long. By the way, folks, you can have one of those banners. It's beautiful. I don't know who originally
when did they go
designed
on
it.
sale again for next year?
the membership drive in January.
All right.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll be on that.
You'll have
Oh,
a
yeah.
choice and
Let
a
us
box
know.
to
Well,
check.
let us know for all the events that go on, because now that Leonard's in, we'll get these.
Yeah.
Because we would have been at that Crystal Inn thing. We
Absolutely.
love going there anyway, and definitely would have been there for that. So let us know what it is, and we'll cover it for you.
Okay.
You know, like to be there.
Love that.
Like to be all a part of that, which is great.
How did Pumpkin Day go? I know that we had
In
some
spite
rough
of the weather, right?
Nor'easter. Yeah. It was raining. We moved it into that large barn that's next to the park.
Okay.
And it wasn't as wildly successful as it normally is with good weather, but it was successful.
Good,
And
that's
a
all
lot
that-
of kids came out.
That's
and all
most
the
important.
vendors were there. And so we did quite well. And John Riskevich, he serves on the board with me. That's Paul's father.
Right.
He's the one that grows these little sugar pumpkins, and
Oh.
we hand them out. And so everyone got a chance to paint a pumpkin. And then when you're done painting the pumpkin, you could proceed down a little ways and then actually have your own face painted. And all those
Did
fun
you
and
do
game
that?
things for the kids. No, nobody painted my face. I was in charge of parking vehicles. And so
Okay. We didn't want your face painted
Yeah.
for that.
I had like a 10-foot long stick with a flag on it, so I could flag people where to go.
You over there.
A lot of
You
these
probably got wet out there
people
too,
that-
didn't you?
Yeah, Valerie was helping me, and a couple high school kids, particularly high school kids from Florida, and they were really, really excellent workers.
The high school kids are great.
And
they help with
they
black
helped get the
dirt fees,
vehicles
too.
off the road. The PD were there, our local police department, to have like lights
Town of
on,
Warwick.
let people know, hey, there's an event going on here.
Right.
And so the local traffic slowed down that was coming through Pine Island, and so everyone parked safely, and I got out of there alive. You know, a lot of those drivers are women, so you got to have 10-foot stick, and
I'm
you
with you.
got to be ready to back up.
I'm
and
with you.
point
I'm with you on that, too.
park
And
there.
it was raining and the wind was blowing, and just a nor'easter, like you said, of all days for that to happen. I was like, we were thinking of that. What, how's that going to work
and
out?
has it been planned yet for Christmas, for the Christmas tree
Yes,
lighting?
yes. Thank you for asking. Upcoming events, and we had Kelly Pickle speak about that at our social Sunday.
Not the Kelly Pickles.
Kelly Pickle from the Ambulance Corps.
Or because
She-
there's a Kelly Pickle who's a national, actually country and western store.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
No, I'll
she's
have to look that
fabulous.
up.
Yeah,
Isn't it pickler?
oh maybe.
And Kelly
I was
Pickle's
close.
daughter, Melissa, has also joined the chamber, and she is the secretary for the Ambulance Corps. And
Oh, boy.
I mean, this is like God sent. We were looking for people to run for the board, and we happened to have our meeting at the ambulance bay.
Oh, wonderful.
And they both said, "Yeah, I'll serve." And Kelly said to me, and she said, and Melissa said, "And I'll serve too. And if you need someone to take notes during the meeting, I'd be happy to do that."
Oh,
So I'm like,
wonderful.
wow,
See,
That's a big job.
so prayers do get answered, and she's good at it.
Oh, yeah.
And so Kelly, together with Nancy Shiner, our vice president, are planning something. Now, it's not in December. It's the last Saturday of November. That would be
Oh.
the 29th. That's 2 days past Thanksgiving. It's one day on the other side
So
of
Frank,
Black
what
Friday.
happens on that Saturday? Yeah, that's when I make my Thanksgiving.
Well, you can still come by to
So
see us
here's
throw
what we're
the
going to
switch
do.
if you'd like.
Here's what we're going to do. I have this planned in my head now that he said it. So we go out before, as my turkey's cooking, we go to Rocky Bar Christmas Tree
Oh,
Farm
nice.
For the father and daughter who run it. We get our tree, we cut it down, we bring it back. Then we have Thanksgiving dinner. And then I will grab my family and we're going to come over to Pine Island to do the tree.
Oh,
lighting.
that'll be great.
Yeah.
And you're going to find the kids from the kids' clubhouse.
Oh, good.
And which should be great because they stay. What time is the tree lighting usually? About
At
When
5
it gets
o'clock.
dark.
As
5
soon as it
o'clock.
gets dark.
Perfect.
yeah, which is perfect. Yeah, they'd be on their way
Oh,
out
they'll
then.
love that.
Yeah.
And my granddaughter's going to be in heaven.
This year it'll be a little bit different. Instead of just having a couple singers and boom, switch the light
Lights
switch
on.
on,
Yeah.
it's going to be 3 hours long. We're going to have a little marketplace of people that are artists in our area and have something for sale for Christmas. They're going to set up a little marketplace
I love
booth.
that.
That's going to start. This is something the Ambulance Corps has wanted the chamber to do, and we kind of combined efforts. So as early as 3 o'clock in the afternoon on that Saturday, you can come and go through the booths and see what kind of local artists and things are for sale for Christmas, for buying things for your loved ones. We also think it's a secret, though, that
Not anymore.
It was.
in a lower tone than what the firemen will do later in December. Mr. and Mrs. Claus will be there in case your children want to have a little chat and talk about whether or not they're naughty or nice.
Oh, that's so cool.
that Santa can get all his work done. We think that's going to happen. So it won't be a real grand scale, but it'll be there nonetheless. And we'll have a picture opportunity and things like that. The kids from the kids clubhouse are going to sing for a while, as well as the singers from the high school.
They're great. They have that beautiful little building that you light up that they sing.
Yeah,
in.
that's right. Our gazebo in the park.
Love that.
Everything will be done down at that end of the park. On
and hot chocolate and cookies.
All that.
Yeah.
All that.
That's
It's a 3-hour-long event, but the tree gets lit just after dark at about 5. Everything gets wrapped up at 6, but it'll be a wonderful community event.
Yeah, it is always. I love going to that. That's one of my favorite tree lighting ceremonies. And what else is going to be happening coming up?
Of course, we're going to meet. Our regular meetings are going to be on the 3rd Tuesday, and that's about the 18th of November. And then we're going to probably put together a holiday mixer that'll be between Christmas and New Year's.
Oh.
And at that event, depending on how things go at our meeting, we always like to give back to our community. So the local food banks and people that help others. I'm thinking of your Towie drive here. If there's something that's hurting in your community, you should be willing to help in your
100%.
community.
Absolutely.
And so the chamber wants to be helpful in this event, and we go into some of those funds that we receive from the Black Dirt Feast, and we try to give $400 or $500 out to the local food banks. Not
That's
one
wonderful.
or two, but if there's 3 or 4 of them, we try to do that. The Alamo has a kitchen in the wintertime for migrant workers every Sunday. We try to support that. I think there's a Florida food kitchen. There's one at St. Peter's Lutheran Church in Pine Island. And so we hope to be supporting them. So that's also going to happen. That event will be sometime between Christmas and New Year's.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah,
I love that.
yeah.
Yeah, well, that's one thing about Pine Island. To me, I've always said that. It's actually my favorite chamber because you really are the heart of what chambers should be for a community. It's about people who love where they're living and working and love the people that are surrounding themselves, and they all help each other. I'm sure if there was a necessary barn raising, everybody would be there to help. That's how I feel about Pine Island.
Well, I appreciate that reflection from you, Taylor. And it really, truly is a community that tries to help out in any way that we can. And I'd like to say this personally. In giving, you receive. And we're blessed
Amen.
to live in the Black Dirt region. It's some of the most fertile soil in the world. And it's all in one continuous area. The only area that has more of this type of soil is down in Belglade, Florida. However, because we're up here, we're close to the eastern seaboard, and the marketplace is much bigger. It's a prosperous area. Black dirt farming is really our main industry, although there's an awful lot of service, industries that go hand in hand with anyone in business, because you need to have all those different services, whether it's restaurants or whether it's gas stations or whether it's repair shops or all this type of thing. But black dirt farming and black dirt industry is our mainstay, and gee whiz, it's a unique area.
I thought the Black Dirt area was the only place in the world that had that, because it was. I thought somebody had mentioned to me years ago that it was a volcano issue that caused the black dirt to be created.
Nope.
Okay, tell me what it really is.
It wasn't at all. And Bill Grahowski and I, this is going back into the 85 to 95 or so. We also had Frances Sodrick with us, the late Frances Sodrick. She was one of the Pine Island's first historian. And also the late Jack Webster. And the 4 of us would travel as an educational troupe, if you would, to the 4th grade elementary schools in our area, because it was, at that time, local history was mandated that it be taught to students in 4th grade. So they invited us in, and Jack Webster was all things prehistoric.
Oh.
So he said when the ice age was around, and the ice was 300 to 600 feet thick, and the wall of ice was as far south as Goshen, New York, that meant anyone who wanted to go north, you could only go north until you kind of reached Pine Island, because then there was a wall of ice. Well, as the glacier proceeded to melt and go north, only then did the swamps that were in the Pine Island area was the water allowed to like drain north, because the Wallkill River flows north from Sparta, New Jersey, up to past New Paltz, New York. So there's a lot of prehistoric artifacts in this area, because that's where the Indians were, and the mastodons were, and even beavers that were as big as 6 foot long.
What?
Yeah,
What?
yeah, this is all documented. And so the black dirt would go through a cycle. You know, a cycle is something that goes round and round and round. So for perhaps about a 10-year period, there was a time where the river did flow and things grew, and they grew very, very tall. But then there would be like a blockage in the drainage. And then for a 10-year period, when the water table was very high, all the lush growth in the trees would fall in because their roots would be covered in water, and the winds would come, and that would put down a layer of muckiness. I don't know, as a youngster, if you ever went in a lake and you said to your friends, "Ooh, it's a muck bottom lake. Ooh,
Yeah,
this
your
is
feet would
terrible.
get
My
stuck
feet
in the
are
mud."
my
Right.
feet are sinking."
Yeah.
Well, that's what the water was like on the lake, if you would call it a very shallow, mucky swamp of the entire 18,000 acres. You know, it's about 2 miles wide and 14 miles long. Things would grow, and then for a 10-year period, then things would rot, and then they would grow, and then they would rot. So our black dirt was formed by that cycle happening over and over and over
interesting.
for several thousand years. And so now our topsoil is about 12 foot thick. And 12-foot thick topsoil compared to like the best topsoil you could find where they grow corn in Illinois and Iowa and everything, where they have 1 foot of topsoil, and it's nice topsoil. It's got a dark color to it, but compare it to 12 feet.
Yeah, that's
They have nothing on us. And,
so there.
Yeah. But there is a lot of swamps and a lot of wetlands throughout the world, including Poland and other places. And in Michigan, 1 out of 12 acres is actually kind of muckland. It's just not in a big pocket. Like it ain't 18 miles long
Right.
and 2 miles wide like it is in Pine Island. It'd be a little pocket here, a little pocket there, maybe 500 acres, maybe 600 acres, maybe only 200 acres. And a lot of them have regrown now to remaining wetlands and have grown up to cattails and phragmites, and it was much too small to make into a commercial farming enterprise. New York State, quite a long time ago, middle 1800s, formed a drainage district. It's a statewide drainage district, and said, we shall drain the black dirt district of Orange County specifically to enhance the agricultural industry. So we have a drainage district that helps us with our drainage. And
Where does it drain to?
drains to the Wallkill and the Pochuck. The Pochuck drains into the Wallkill. And then in the days of the CCC, the Civil Service engineers in the 30s came as a project and actually dredged some of the crooked Wallkill and made it straight. And so most of the black dirt drains pretty good down the Cheechuk Channel, which is also the Wallkill River. And now we've done some other efforts. You know, we've had continuous flooding problems, and we continue to work on those and putting in bench projects and stuff to try to eliminate the effects of hurricanes and heavy rain. So drainage is one of the things we work on, county
It's
level,
necessary,
state level.
yeah.
Oh yeah, it's hard to farm underwater.
Yeah.
But I mentioned earlier, Pulaski Highway is closed this week because they're lowering a couple of culvert pipes underneath it because they do need to get the black dirt to drain. Black dirt, by the way, is organic matter. It's like a leaf pile, or it's like your newspaper that's made out of
interesting.
a wood product. And the one reason it's black is because it oxidizes. So when you say, well, oxidizing, that's a big word. What's that mean? That means it burns. So if you took a match and you lit the newspaper and you just let the newspaper burn in front of you, because it's organic matter, the newspaper would turn black. Just like if you leave it on the windowsill of the car and you look at it the next week and say, gee, it's not a white newspaper. Nowhere it's brown. It's oxidizing. It's burning very slowly. So that's exactly what happened to the black dirt. The sun shines on the top of it. It oxidizes, and that's why it turns black. And if you take school kids or wander out in the black dirt yourself and you take a shovel and you jump in a ditch and you dig down a little bit, you'll find out that wow, look at this. Here's original leaf material. It's brown. You can see the sticks. You can see the leaves. You can see everything because it's non-oxidized. It's been underwater. So
Yeah,
it's
so
it's
not
preserved.
it's not out to the elements.
Right.
Right.
So it's preserved. So it's kind of a little
How interesting.
thing
Look,
to do.
see,
Does,
live and learn.
Yeah.
Does when they do the farming out there, being that it's so rich and good of a soil, do they have to still fertilize every year?
Yes, they do have to do soil tests and add to the fertilizers different minerals that they need for that plant to grow.
Right.
And sometimes they have to add limestone to correct the acidity. So the acidity level's at an optimum level for those plants.
And is that because they've been farming on it, or even if you
No.
had black dirt in your backyard and has never been farmed before, you would still need to add to it?
The
Or?
black dirt has the characteristics of a sponge, if you will. You know, a sponge is made out of fibrous material. Our
Right.
black dirt is very fibrous. But you still have to add some fertilizer to it to have it sustain plant growth. And if you're growing certain plants that require certain amounts of fertilizer, it's good to get that soil test done and get that fertilizer there. The other thing we do when we have groups out for a tour is we can get maybe 15 people together and we say, okay, or let's say 16. We'll say, okay, you 8 over here, just stand by. And now the 8 over here in Group B, we want you to jump up and down, like do some jumping jacks. And so Group A, I want you to be really still and feel the vibration from the other 8 people jumping up and down. And when they do that, they're like, this guy's nuts. But then Group B starts jumping up and down, and Group A drops their mouth open and says, oh my gosh, you really can feel it. It's like a bowl of jelly out here. And that's exactly what the black dirt is like. It's
Wow.
like a sponge, and it moves. Oftentimes, you'll see when you ride through the Pine Island or Black Dirt region, you'll see a double set of telephone poles. You'll see telephone poles on one side of the road, and then after a few years, the telephone poles begin to lean, and they lean a little, and they lean a little because they're stuck into a bowl of jelly, if you would.
Yeah, they're
And
not
as they
deep enough.
lean and the wind blows, as we're talking about the banners earlier, they end up having to come and put another set of telephone poles on the other side of the road and put a cable across the top of it to stabilize the telephone pole that's on the opposite side of the road.
That's pretty wild.
It is wild. It's also the same reason you don't see warehouses and factories and houses in the black dirt, because the water table's so high, there's going to be no septic system that'll work, and the building itself would fall in because you can't build something on a bowl of jelly.
Right, you'd have to get down to bedrock, which is way down.
How deep is the black dirt? But you said like 10 feet, right?
Yeah, 10 to 12 feet. Of course, it's like water, and so if you get near an island, you know, Pine Island or Big Island.
Is that where the island thing came from? Because I was
Exactly
always wondering.
right. Yeah, if the water table came up to the point that the black dirt was flooded, and let's say there was 2 foot of water over it, Pine Island would be an island.
It's true.
And
Were there
so
pine trees there originally too?
I don't know. That's a good story because there's a Pine Island in Florida, and
There's one in Nebraska too.
in Minnesota. Yeah. And so I said to the Pine Island Chamber, maybe we should do a cooperative thing where, like, you know, if the president's going to go to Florida, maybe you could, could you sponsor him being down there? And then everybody laughs. No, we're not going to sponsor you to go to Florida.
Nice try, though.
They did that in England for Warwick. Do you
That's
remember?
correct. That's where I got the idea.
Right?
And so, you know, the people in Pine Island, Florida, probably have quite a bit in common with the people in Pine Island, New York, because I went to their website, because if you dial up Pine Island and don't put NY down, you'll end up in Florida. And they do have an island, though, because they're on the west coast, and you got to cross a bridge to get to them. A really big agricultural area. Their number one crop is growing nursery-growing palm trees.
Really?
You're gonna build something in Florida, and they're gonna put palm trees like down the expressway at every exit and everything.
Somebody actually has to grow 'em.
Someone has to call over there to Pine Island and get them and have them trucked out of
Wow.
there. So they're a big agricultural community. They're not a tourist community. They have restaurants and things, but they don't have sandy beaches like Clearwater and all this other places.
Right.
It's quite interesting, and I'll bet you that those people probably face a few problems that we face, and we probably have a few solutions that might help them. They might have a few solutions that help us. Now, they have a very large artist community down there, and what they do, gee, I'm switching topics quickly, but back to telephone poles. The artists in their community paint the poles, and it looks like native folk art. And someone actually wrote a book, and you can go on their webpage and look at all the different, communities that the artists have painted the poles. Well, we don't paint our poles in Pine Island. We hang banners on them.
That's right. You can
actually,
have one.
I hear there are more poles in Pine Island here than there is in Florida.
Yeah, that's actually
Polish
true.
people.
Oh,
Well-
very funny.
Oh, sorry, Taylor.
Well, they're all decorated.
I'm
so
part of that, and they're all
yeah.
decorated. I'll tell you, those Polish outfits.
It's
Come
wonderful.
on, yeah, great stuff, right? Traditional outfits are quite amazing.
But
Well, I'm a quarter
anyways, when the
Polish, so I
black
can get away
dirt
with that.
reaches the island, it's shallower. So just like if you were to walk into a water and you leave the shoreline, it's only a
Right.
few feet deep.
Sure.
But when you get way out in the middle, it's 12 feet deep. It's way over your head. And most of the mastodon and these other bones that we have found are in areas off the island.
You're still finding that?
It's only, yeah.
That's interesting.
Occasionally. I mean, it's not like you can't go out there and dig one up today. It's very rare, but you can find some here and there. A few years ago, we were doing a drainage line, and we found, not for a mastodon, but for an animal. It was called an elk moose. It was a combination between an elk and a moose that were native to this area back in the Ice Age. So we have some elk moose bones.
Incredible history.
Are there any rocks in the black dirt?
Very, very, very few rocks, only near the island where you might have dug them up. But otherwise,
So pretty easy to dig a hole in the black dirt then.
very easy to dig a hole in the black
I
dirt.
can't even imagine what that would be like. Because every time we do things, you're right in the rock.
Approximately how many pounds of onions do they sell from there every year?
I wouldn't have the foggiest idea to
Lots.
know.
We've gotta
But there's
ask Paul
several
Riskevich.
packing houses that also bring onions in from other areas because they have to supply the food chain for a year-round basis. So there's a lot of trucks bringing onions in from Texas, Arizona, or the Washington, Oregon
So
area.
it comes to here and then it gets
They
distributed
get
from here?
repackaged.
Oh,
yeah, they
did
get
not know that.
repackaged. And then the reverse happens when Pine Island onions come in.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
It's a great history. Are there any books out there about the black dirt?
Well, there's the book that Cheetah Haysom wrote. And
Oh, I remember
can't
Cheetah. She was on the air with us a few times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then,
I remember her husband.
There's other things. We do have a Drowned Lands Historical Society now that was started on an ad hoc basis by Francis Soderick. But now we have an actual Drowned Lands Historical Society. And John Riskevich, who I mentioned earlier, he donates the pumpkins for Pumpkin Fest. He is the Pine Island historian. And each year, by the way, we do go up on one of these hills and we till the soil a little bit, and we invite anyone who would like to come out at 6 o'clock. Generally, this year it was on the 11th of July, and they're allowed to go hunting. And they go hunting for artifacts.
Oh,
And because the Indians did not settle down near the water's edge where all the mosquitoes were, they went up on top of the hilltop. So they would both have visibility of area for being safe and also to get away from the mosquitoes. So they're encampments, if you would, where they lived. Because remember, there was no Indians north of us because the ice was up there.
all right.
So this is about as far north as you could go back that far in time. So the area is very rich in archaeological finds.
What was there a name to the Indians?
You'd have to ask Jack Webster. He would know.
There is though,
about
right?
it.
There's some
Yeah,
kind of whatever
yeah,
it may.
yeah.
Nothing's
They weren't
named
the
after.
Tribes
Chippewas,
for
I know
different-
Yeah,
that.
nothing
Yeah,
named after it in the area.
I
Yeah,
don't think
different
they were
tribes.
Algonquins, but
Yeah, different tribes for different areas.
They were the
finally asked a
Sinclairs. That's what they
question
were.
that
That's
stumped me. But if Jack Webster
Probably
was
not.
here, he would tell you.
Yeah,
And
because
Doc-
normally they're like Ramapo,
Yeah.
and they name things after
That's correct.
them. But I wonder if something around the area is actually named after the.
you're very clever. You asked a
original
question
inhabitants.
that you knew the answer to. The Ramapo.
Wait, is that what it is?
Well, that might have been. I'm
Okay.
not positive.
Could have been.
I'm not 100% because
Okay.
I'm not the expert on that.
Yeah. That's pretty cool though. That's something. This is stuff that you'd love to know, and talking to a historian
see,
would be the way to.
I didn't
way
know
to go.
how that was formed. I've heard many different things, and I finally found out how it was formed.
Yeah.
Yeah, from
over
the
time.
cycle of flooding and,
Yeah.
and growing and flooding and growing.
Love it.
We had over 250 people there, youngsters and school teachers with kids and everything, on a 4-acre field up on a hilltop, walking corn that was only like 3 inches tall. So the field was divided up, and they walked there for about 3 hours, from 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock till the sunset, back on July 11th, finding artifacts, and several of them were found. It's really pretty exciting.
That
It's-
is exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sort of like going to the Museum of Natural History.
So I would assume the most thing that is grown there is onions, but they do other things
Yeah,
too.
onions are grown down in the black dirt.
Right.
And on the upland, all sorts of other things are grown. Corn, soybeans, orchards are up on those hills and things like that.
Yeah, no, that is great.
Pumpkins.
That's good stuff.
Pumpkins grow
Or
good on
and
the
now your
upland.
land is part of the drown land, right? Where you're growing sod.
Yeah, the sod's grown down in the muckland.
Yeah.
My mother and father started out in the 1950s down near Detroit, Michigan, and my dad found out, I don't know, maybe just through casual conversation, that if you grew sod on this black dirt or on this muck land, it would be much lighter in weight, easier to grow, faster to, for the roots to make a plant, because that's what sod is it's a rug that's woven together by the roots of the plant. And so he and my mother began shopping, if you would, or going to look to see if maybe they could move from the mineral-based farm that they were on, which is sand, silt, and clay, and very heavy, to find a farm that was muckland. And indeed, they found a pocket of about 400 or 500 acres. I think their original farm was only 300. And when I was in about the first or second grade, because this is impossible, but I made my first communion twice.
What?
How'd you do that?
Well, I made it when we were at the farm community where we grew
Was
up on.
informal.
And then when we moved up north, I ended up in a new second grade class when I think I made my first communion in first grade when we were at the one farm, and then we moved to the other farm. When you're in second grade, you got to do what second graders do. And the second graders are making their first communion. So I made it's impossible to have your first communion twice, but somehow I made my first
You are
communion
now
twice.
protected forever.
And so that was up in Davison, Michigan, which is near Flint.
Now, where were your parents from originally?
A mother and father were both born in Macomb Township, Michigan.
Oh, so they're from Michigan, and the family. What is the original nationality of your family?
My mother's maiden name is Mollberg. She's German, and my dad, obviously, is DeBuck, and Germany and Belgium pretty close together.
Oh, right.
So all of my mother's brothers, by the way, the Mollberg brothers, who are also in Macomb Township, ended up marrying Belgian girls.
Oh.
I don't know why.
Was that 7 brides for 7 brothers?
Well, something like that. Because when my uncle, my mom's brother, came out to visit us, he gives me this bumper sticker that's red and in gold print. It said, "Being Belgian is beautiful." And I got to thinking about it after a while. I said, well, gee, my Uncle Norm, he wasn't Belgium. He was German, like my mom. Well, then I found out from talking to my aunt and stuff, my mother's younger sisters, they said, yeah, I know, but they all married Belgian women.
Where'd they find them?
At the Belgium shop.
In Belgium.
On Belgium.com.
Right. Well, they were in services or whatever. And anyways, that's just the way it is.
Oh, interesting.
So when they grew sod up there, was it Kentucky bluegrass?
It was the beginnings of marrying Kentucky bluegrass,
Really?
which was kind of a patented variety that came along.
So why do you grow Kentucky bluegrass, and what variety do you grow?
Well, there's many different varieties now, and Gregory, our 43-year-old son, is now in charge of the farm. So
you traded with him? You're doing the golfing?
Well, I kind of not really trade. I mean, I help him if he needs help. If he's in a full court press, I'm his, if you want to call him senior advisor, troublemaker. Anyways, he selects what varieties. He's got to first talk to the suppliers, and the suppliers got to know what varieties that the universities have recommended for disease control and this type of thing, and how well they're doing. And then they got to convince growers in the Pacific Northwest that grow the seed. Of course, they got to be successful at growing the seed to see what's going to be commercially available.
Wait a minute, what does this have to do with Kentucky?
Right. And the seed that a sod grower uses has got to be, this is a technical term, has to be gold quality standard. So that means they can't have any impurities in it, because when you're trying to grow something that's almost perfect, you don't want those weed seeds in there, and you don't want a different variety in there, and you don't want this in there. So we do pay a premium for the seed we buy because it has to be so clean.
You have to buy new seed every year?
Well, every time that we have a new crop, we try to get new varieties and better varieties and stuff, but it always has to be gold quality standard. You won't find us buying any seed at a Home Depot. You won't find us at Tractor Supply.
They don't have the quality, I would assume, right?
That's all like
How old was
way
Gregory?
lower standard.
And it's
How-
harder to grow, isn't it? Their stuff, or does it
Well,
or
I mean,
easier?
most of the time you won't even find Kentucky bluegrass there because
true, it's a mix, right?
It takes 3 weeks just for Kentucky bluegrass to break open its dormancy, and we, being consumers who like things right now,
Yeah.
don't want to plant a lawn and then go back to the store 3 weeks later and say, I don't see my lawn. It's not, it's no good, that seed you
Get
sowed.
washed away.
Yeah, or this or that. You have to be very, very patient, very, very careful. There's a little bit of art behind it and quite a bit of science behind it. But bluegrass will germinate, and we seed August 15th to September 15th, and nobody else will do that because it's the hottest time of the year. But now that it's October and November, our bluegrass fields are just completely covered with bluegrass. They're doing very, very well.
You don't have to put any weed control on there?
We will have to spray a little bit if there's some local native weed seeds like dandelions that have sprouted, a few things. So we'll have to spray to get them out, but we will not
But not
put
this time of year.
no crabgrass preventer next June because our field will be 100% covered. And if it's 100% covered with the crop of sod or grass, the sunlight can't germinate any of those native crabgrass seeds.
It's a science.
Yeah.
How many acres do you have then?
Well, we're growing about 600 acres.
Whoa.
Yeah.
600 acres.
Well, how old
Yeah.
was Gregory when you started him on the fields with you?
Gee, that's a good question because when you talk about succession and stuff and
Right.
learning more and more about it, Valerie had made a quilt once. I'm not sure Gregory was even out of the bassinet or cradle or whatever you call it, the baby bed. And there's this quilt and it says Greg's Farm and it's got this tractor on it. So we started brainwashing him before he could even talk. But anyways, he was at my side a lot when he was a youngster. He helped me build the golf course when he was 10.
Wow.
He loved to run tractors. What kid doesn't, right?
Yeah, really. There's not one that doesn't.
And then instead of going to Cornell, where he got accepted, he ended up going to Penn State University.
Great school.
And he got a degree in agronomy, which is the same degree I got from Michigan State. Now, Michigan State was founded in 1855. It's the original land-grant university.
Huge university, too.
And Penn State was founded in 1855,
Oh, he had to beat you.
about 3 weeks later.
Oh, 3 weeks later. There you go.
Michigan State is the pioneer land-grant university.
So they're na.
Well, kind of, yeah. But anyways, Penn State has done well by Greg, and Greg has done well by Penn State. And the same is true with Michigan State. I'm a
Wow.
Spartan and probably will always be a Spartan.
Oh, I'm sure of that. We love when football's happening there. We don't hear from London. You weren't at the game with Goshen.
I was.
Were you there?
Yeah, I was
we
there.
were there. Why didn't you come
Yeah,
say
well,
hello
you
to
were
us?
upstairs in that nice warm
Oh,
booth
that
next to a
booth
couple
was-
of your friends, and I'm sitting there all by myself
You
in the
should have
wind.
come in.
It was a great game. It was really
Great
good.
That was a
game.
wonderful game,
And
yeah.
I can't
Dominated.
tell.
I don't understand. It was so close the last time, and it was nip and tuck and this and
Because
that.
they played them earlier, yeah.
Yeah,
and
this was a great game.
The Warwick team, I guess Coach Sirico says we're on a little revenge tour or something like that. And revenge he did get against Goshen. Whether or not he's going to get that against Cornwall remains to be seen, but I'm sure they'll play well.
Now, Leonard, did you really have your eyes open? Because, I mean, when you're watching the field, it's not real grass. It's that artificial junk.
Listen,
I mean, were you
hold
able
on-
to
hold
were you
on.
able to take that? I just wanted to know if you can take that. But I guess it was
It still looks pretty good. It's been
looks
there
good,
for
right?
about 5 years. They
It
haven't
looks
mowed
good.
it once. It's
yeah,
made
that's
out
true
of
too.
plastic.
They
It
haven't
doesn't
fertilized
grow.
it either.
And,
Somebody texted in, is there any way this interview with Mr. DeBuck can be recorded and listened to again? It's recorded, and I'll be happy to put it on social media to
All
let
right.
you all listen.
Yeah, because it's fascinating. People are all
Really? People
excited
wanna
about
know
that.
the
By the way, sod, you guys will continue until it hard freeze. So you
Yeah.
got a
Yeah, it
couple
has
of more
to be
weeks,
frozen.
at least through the month, right?
You,
You think?
sell retail to individuals or only corporate? Or
anyone who looks us up on the internet and has our phone number can call. Yeah.
So it's DeBuck's, right?
Yeah.
Sod?
Yeah.
Very
DeBuck Sod
easy.
Farm. Here again, though, it has to be of New York because 3 of my brothers, one of them is retired, though, but the other 2 are still operating sod farms, one in Wisconsin and one in Michigan.
And they would charge extra for that delivery.
Yeah, that's quite a long
Yeah,
Yeah,
way.
it's
you
a-
think?
So all the grass you sell the same?
I'm sorry?
All the sod is all the same?
Now it's my nephew, see, because it's already down another generation. So, like, if Gregory has some trouble with something or he needs another person's opinion, it's sort of like it's a
Like a
ad
consigliere?
hoc board of directors. If you need to get an answer to something that you're facing, but you're only facing it for the first time, Gregory can call either his cousin Diane, that's at the Maine farm where I grew up, or his cousin Ryan DeBuck, who's in Wisconsin, and say, hey, what do you do about this? What'd you do about that?
That's great.
Do you
They go
plant
to work
cover
with each other.
crops? Were your cover crops successful?
That's
And then
fantastic.
the other thing is the weather. The weather in Michigan is generally there today. We get that tomorrow. So a lot of times it's
That's
kind of
true.
nice just to call and say, hey, how's it going? And then you say, by the way,
It's on its way.
what's the weather doing? And
Yeah.
you say, well, we
It's
got an
coming.
inch of rain last night, and it's on its way. Or we had hard frost last night, so cover your flowers. You're going to get it tonight.
That's pretty wild. But when people decide to buy sod, they don't have to pick a certain type. It's all, that's part of this. You guys pick the best, and that's what is there, right?
Pretty much, although we do grow another type, and it's called turf-type tall fescue, and it's supposed to be a little bit more droughtiness, but I don't think there's anything in the world more beautiful than Kentucky bluegrass.
I agree with you on that.
Oh, yeah.
Come over and see our back section over there. It's just
Frank,
gorgeous.
I am telling you, I got to take a video of you. He's out there on the ground, sitting there cutting and watering certain areas.
I got, there were some weeds that came up because I
It's
cleaned
like
that off as best as I
obsessed.
could, but I still got a couple of things, and I pull everything out by hand. I didn't use any, weed killer. I didn't need to because I was out there.
It still
picking.
looks
What's the
gorgeous.
little ones that come up that are like just little blades of grass that come up that are super tall? They grow 3 times as fast as the.
I don't know, it's probably crabgrass.
Is it something
not
like that?
sure.
Yeah. Well, I dig it up, pull it up.
Interesting you say something. I think tuning into a local radio station and learning about what's going on locally is good for you. I
100%.
believe going outside without a pair of shoes on and walking on barefoot on the grass kind of connects you to the earth. And I think there's a healing thing about that.
I never had shoes on during the summer.
And so-
honestly,
And Valerie, my better half, she gardens and grows all these flowers and everything. And it's like, I don't want to say she's crazy. I guess we're all crazy a little bit. It's her therapy. She loves that.
it's true.
And provided when she picks all the weeds out, her husband empties the basket in the compost pile. She's ready to fill them up again.
Listen,
Oh, yeah.
I
She
lived
just
in the
loves
state
the
of
garden.
I lived in the state of Florida for a few minutes, and there was a golf course behind my house, and then there was a neighbor, like 1 or 2 houses over, a very nice older couple, and I'm gardening in the front. Flowers just reminded me of it, and he's walking by with his golf, clubs on that little wheelie thing, and he said, you should come play golf with us one day. And I go, do you ever hear me yelling at my flowers? No,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
I'm good.
There you go.
Yeah.
Neil, your lawn and not only that, the flowers on your property. Is that you or the wife that does that?
Well, I do everything at the house. She doesn't participate. No,
God.
I'm just kidding. It's mostly her.
Is
Yeah,
it really?
mostly her,
No
yeah.
Yeah,
kidding.
because you guys got a lot of.
And we get some outside help, but she's great. She does a lot of
Gardening is
tremendous
the
work
most
at the house.
therapeutic work you can do. Really is. It's
And
wonderful.
not only good for you, when people drive by and they see it, they get a little smile on their face
yeah.
too.
That's important to us. That's one of the reasons why we maintain it that way, because we want people to enjoy it.
yeah,
Yeah.
you see it.
I'm going to put this interview with Leonard. I know who it is.
Leonard DeBuck. Leonard, that's Taylor. I don't know if you met her before. But
Well, I get thrown for a loop when someone says Mr. DeBuck because I'm
Yeah.
like, wait a minute.
That was my father.
My dad died in 1990, and God rest his soul, and he taught me everything I kind of know about
That's
growing
true.
grass. But I'm not Mr. DeBuck. I'm not Grandpa DeBuck neither, because that was his
What do
dad.
they call
my
you?
Papa.
Papa.
And oddly enough, I asked someone, like, man, what does Papa mean? And they said, well, in Italy, it means you're the Pope. And I'm
Oh.
like, whoa.
I didn't know
Okay,
that.
well, that's interesting.
I never heard that.
Because when I'm under my own roof, which means my house, I appreciate being the Pope because I really am in charge. And I could,
So Valerie makes you think so.
well, I try not
I'm
to
not.
pontificate once I'm out from under that roof, which I am.
that's about it right there.
at
Yeah,
this moment.
Somebody suggested we put this interview on the website. I think that's what I'm going to
that's
do.
a great idea.
Yeah, because social media moves all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'll do that.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Well,
Yeah,
and
it's-
Leonard's doing what he enjoys, and now more involvement in the Pine Island Chamber, which is great. So
Oh, we're so happy about that.
it's good to know because you know what's going on.
Now, if people want to join, it's so inexpensive, it's ridiculous, and you're supporting the local community. You can go to pineislandny.com, and I think it's $50 a year
Yeah.
for a business. I don't think you've raised it ever.
No, not in
and
quite a while.
$25 if you're just like a regular person, you don't have a business, you want to be part of it. Everybody should join. Everybody.
Everybody should.
Yeah.
And
We have a lot of people that are I don't want to say just people, but they're not in business for themselves. They're
Right.
citizen residents that joined the chamber because they got a little extra time to commit to their community.
Right.
And let's face it, when you're in a business and you're busy selling onions, or you're busy doing this, or you're busy doing that, you don't have as much time to give to the community. Right. So we are so thankful for that other level, which we think is the higher level, the citizen contribution of our membership, because those are the people that are coming to our meeting. Those are the people that are having us have Pumpkin Fest, Black Dirt Feast. They're the ones that really help the chamber shine, or our citizen members. And it's not a dig against those that are in business.
No, not at all. It
People
just
are in
means we
business
want everybody.
are busy trying to meet payroll
Right,
and doing
exactly.
commerce.
Of course.
But we support both of them. So we encourage you to join.
What I'm saying is, everybody join. Please be part of what makes our community
definitely.
so fabulous.
And
really.
we'll let you know out there.
And you can buy a banner.
when the events come up with the Christmas tree lighting
Oh,
and
yeah,
all that,
we'll
which is really
definitely-
a wonderful thing. You really
I
need to
love
be there.
going to that
It's
every year.
unique the way
Whenever
they do
I
it out
pull
there.
up there, I always feel like this is the way America was really built. And these small communities that all come together and for the better of the community and help each other. It's just wonderful.
It's wonderful. And Neil Sinclair is here. Neil with Rotary. I think we're working on the children's Christmas party right now, right?
Yes, there have been a few hiccups, but yes, we are.
Okay, where does that
it'll-
stand?
It'll happen.
All right.
It'll happen.
You're looking for some donations, and that's available online too, right?
WarwickValleyRotary.org. Anybody wants to donate to the annual Christmas party that we have for the kids, please do so. We're always looking for donations. We buy some beautiful gifts for the kids and their immediate families.
How many people do you have buying the gifts? Because I know you have a lot of volunteers doing it.
We're a little shy this year, but we'll get back. Usually there's about 10 or 12 that do most of the shopping.
How many kids are you buying for this year?
We don't know yet, but last year was about 75.
That's a lot.
So, and it's not just for the kids; it's also for their immediate families. It's a great day. We do it with the Lions. They
Yeah, you
have
get
half
gifts for the
day
mother and the father?
Yes.
Yeah.
Aunts and uncles, all sorts
yeah.
of different.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So it's a great event. So it probably our most heartwarming event of the year. So if anybody wants to donate, please do.
Whatever amount,
Whatever,
too,
it could be $1, it could be
because per
more.
kid it costs over $100 now, right, to get them outfits, clotting, and
It's getting
thereabouts?
close to that. Yeah. So
Right around that
everything's
area.
expensive now. So the more
yeah,
you
but
can
Yeah.
give,
but keep in mind that money buys the gifts. It buys sometimes clothes.
Always clothes, yeah.
Yeah, I mean there are a number of things
and
it
they
buys.
get in addition to the
A meal.
clothing and the other kind of gifts. It's not just clothing; all different
Right.
kinds of gifts. We feed them with
Right.
food for
No,
breakfast
you
and
do
lunch.
that. You're still doing it with the Lions Club.
Yes, mhm.
So are you doing morning or afternoon?
We're doing
now?
the morning. I believe.
Okay.
And so they're fed. They see Santa Claus. They get photos. It's a fantastic
wonderful.
day.
It's
You can't
actually,
go wrong.
Really, it's
A lot of the kids from Pine Island attend.
Oh yeah.
So it's great.
Yeah.
It's a great event.
That's really good. Well, and when is that coming up?
December 14th, I believe.
And is there a party afterwards, Neil?
Perhaps.
Neil's
It's not
usually
open to the public.
I know, no. But we missed that last year,
Yeah.
Neil, because you didn't have the event.
we're
so
gonna
Neil
have
does
it.
an event
Yeah.
at his place. So usually it's very
We will
very good
have
stuff.
it this year.
All right, good. Well, we're going, Taylor.
We're going to what?
Good afternoon, Taylor. I don't know if you met Leonard before. He's a
What do you mean we're going?
new guy.
I'm not a kid. I'm not getting it.
To Neil's house for the party, the after party.
Oh, that yeah.
We are going to have the after party.
Listen,
Not
Fran's,
open to the public.
Fran's cooking, so I'll be there.
Everybody cooks. They bring some. Yeah, and Fran does some great stuff
Yeah,
out there.
she does.
Puts out a great spread.
Right.
Good stuff. All right, 2-second song or what?
All right, Leonard. We'll see how good you are at this.
This one's tough.
I have way too much hayseed on my shoulders to know what song's going to play.
All right. What decade is it from?
We're from the 80s here. We'll
All
keep
right.
it in there again.
845-651-1110. First correct caller. I have tickets to the Sugarloaf Performing Arts Center. I'm so tired.
We are so tired. We were here till past 11 last night.
No, way past. And
Yeah.
I don't think I got to bed till 2 and got up at 5. So I'm kind of burnt out.
Yeah.
So excuse me if I don't remember who you are.
I don't
or
even know
you're
where I
from.
am.
Or who I am.
But I'm going to go to Rotary today. Is there a speaker today or
You
no?
are actually going
Yeah.
to Rotary?
Do we know somebody?
This Salvation Army will be there today.
There you go. I always support the Army. And the Salvation Army too. Well, that'll be good. In any case, yeah, I need a day. I'm out for the day. Do not see me anymore. I'm burned out. I'm going to go and fall asleep in my food.
Yeah, Frank was here engineering, and we were doing feeds to him for the live portion of that.
See, I don't.
Which
I never get the
videotaped.
fun things. I'm always stuck here. She goes here. She goes there.
Wait, I got
I'm
a little
here or I'm working on the
violin.
house.
I have a little
Good to be the
violin.
boss.
Yeah,
Yeah, isn't
I
it?
have a
Tell me
little-
about it.
little
All right,
violin
this
for
is
you.
a tough song to know. I think it's kind of misleading. It's an individual artist. It was a top
Then why
10
are
hit
you
record.
playing it? Don't you want people to win?
No,
Oh,
of
God.
course not. All right, here we go. Clue number 1. See if you can get it from this.
845-651-1110. First correct caller, you get those tickets. Or if you just want to play, you can text us 845-328-0886.
And the phone
Are you kidding me?
is ringing. I wonder if somebody can actually get it from that. Here's clue number 1 once again. That's tough. This would be tough for me. I don't think I would get this one from
I
that
have
clue.
no idea what this
I
is.
have no
Oh,
idea.
Leonard must know.
I'm pretty sure it's not Jimmy Stir.
No,
Oh, you can be
Probably right
definitive
about
about that.
it is not. But this is no. Okay, so Jimmy does a lot in Pine Island, though. He did a lot more
Okay,
concerts
let's
this year,
go. What are we doing here?
which helps support your ladies auxiliary and all that stuff over there, which is really good.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Of
Okay.
course, yeah, he did on one of the big storms too. The day before your thing, I think.
That's right.
Big storm, right? You can't win, but you got the
All
pavilion.
right,
It's great.
1 and 2.
And your Nom Knights are there in Pine Island.
Well,
That's their new headquarters now.
Well, no, it's not their new headquarters, but they do put every year the annual pork roast. They do put on the Legion there, the Polish American Legion.
It's a perfect location for that.
Perfect location. The gazebo, no matter what the weather is, they have band there, they have music, they have a stage. They do the barbecue on the side, and it's just phenomenal. I think they raised the most money last year. And all that goes 100% back. With like next week, I think, wait a minute, Thursday I'm doing the flags out at the veteran ceremony cemetery, and then the week after we're doing something else at the veteran ceremony.
And Leo Cadis
November
on
10th,
Monday is
yeah.
doing his veterans
Breakfast.
breakfast. So if you're a veteran,
Unlimited breakfast. So I've sent
At the
that,
dealership.
Yeah, I've sent that out to every veteran group out there because I know them all. And I'm going to be actually sending another reminder out as well.
yep,
because
they're doing it on not on
free-
the 11th. They're doing it on the 10th, not to conflict with everything
Well, yeah,
else.
exactly. So hopefully you'll have a nice crowd there. It should
That'd be
be
good.
great.
Neil
Leo
will be there.
Cadis Ford on Route 94 in Warwick. Free breakfast.
And
to
Neil
all.
is leaving us.
And
so
by
he'll
the
be,
way, if you're a
back with
veteran,
us next week.
if you're a veteran, you can bring a guest also.
Yeah.
So no worries. And Mike DiMartino is going to be actually creating a full breakfast too if you want something like custom. So he will do that. It's going to be, they do an unbelievable job. Leo Sr. started it, and Leo R. is continuing.
It's terrific.
Yeah.
Can I mention something
Absolutely.
about not so much Knights, but Bill Grahowski, the fellow that was our Citizen of the Year.
Oh, sure.
He served in Vietnam, 1968, for a year. When he came back, and it was a while, like 1985, before he joined the veterans. He did work in Pennsylvania for a while, and now he's a very active member of the Polish Legion American
Oh,
Veterans.
good for him. That's great.
I made sure that Sunday I went out of my way on behalf of the community to say to Bill, "Welcome home."
We do that every year now with
Yeah.
the Hudson Highlands Cemetery.
Yeah.
We do a welcome home Vietnam vets. And
Right.
a couple of years ago, Steve Newhouse and Paul Arteta, our county exec and sheriff, brought their fathers in to be honored. They were both Vietnam
Nice.
vets. And so he pinned everybody at that ceremony.
Wonderful.
It was
And
phenomenal.
it's wonderful to do that to them now because remember we had the interview a couple of weeks ago, Taylor, with a Vietnam vet, and I asked him, I said, "What was it like when you came back?" And he said it was horrendous. Somebody spit on him. It was a
I did that with Tony Casamano.
because he didn't have his uniform off yet because he was just coming back.
Yeah.
He said, "I said that's just horrendous."
So it's good, I think, to think it through, to repent, to say we're sorry,
Absolutely.
and make amends, and know that we're in this thing together.
Yeah.
And so we were happy to do that for Bill. We're so happy he is now involved with the Polish Legion American Veterans. I was interested, though, the Nom Knights, they ride in on motorcycles.
Oh,
And
yeah.
we have a lot of people who ride through the Black Dirt area on the 21 speeds and all this stuff. Sometimes you go by groups of 30, 40, 50 people. they didn't choose Pine Island because of the view of the ride at the way in. I think
it's the roads.
I think it was the venue itself, and they have
Well,
a big parking area there.
That's
it's a
exactly-
big pavilion.
yeah.
There's good bathrooms. It's outdoors. A good spot for a barbecue.
It's perfect.
It really is.
And John Riccici, we call Cheech, who is the president, is former. So these guys that are riding, you have to ride. You have to ride a Harley.
Oh, okay.
And you have to either be retired law enforcement or retired military.
Oh.
So they're very strict. They're a 501c3. Every dollar they take in goes back. And I tell you, I've had some of the most incredible moments with them. And I pretty much try to get to most everything that they're doing. I do honor flight with them twice a year. They're the lead motorcycles coming in. And this last one in October was 300 motorcycles.
So I'm sure they feel as I feel. As they give, they receive.
Oh, they're 100%
That's
on
what
that.
they do.
Remember,
that's a great place. Well, once
these
again,
guys are all the ones that's what they've done their whole life.
they needed more room, so they went to Pine Island.
Yeah, that's he became new president a couple of years ago, and he said, we were always having it at the American Legion in Monroe, and there wasn't enough room for all the motorcycles or the people to eat, and so it's really tough. And then he found the Polish American Legion, and the people on the bikes were so happy because there's a specific area in the front on the grass. They can park the bikes without worrying about cars driving. It just worked out perfectly, and the people at the Legion are just wonderful.